Stitcher. This is Flosstube number 62. Today is December 20th. It's been 3 weeks since my last video. And I have some Christmas stitching to share with you, as well as some Christmas charts and kits and things that I wanted to share out of my stash. So kind of a mini parade and sort of just an update on my Christmas stitching for this month. I hope you all are staying warm wherever you are and having a great time with holiday preparations if that is your thing. I'm going to get right into the stitching. I have a quiche in the oven, so I am trying to get this in before that's done baking. So in my last video, I mentioned a bunch of Christmas stitching that I wanted to get done. There's a hashtag on Instagram, and I don't remember who's hosting it, but it's 12 starts of Christmas, or just new starts of Christmas, which is Xmas. I'll post it below. But I wanted to do 12 starts, but that ended up to be a little too much. So I got a couple of starts, and I'm going to show you what I did start since my last video. Let me start with what's on the Q snap. So this one is the number one. Move this off. This is number one in the Signs of Christmas from Shannon Christine. This is Old-Fashioned Sleigh Rides. Now, this is a picture of what it looks like, the way that it's charted with red and green. And I actually opted, obviously, to stitch in blue. This is 995 and 996. I think the brown is different. The brown is 610. And I think the greens are the same. The white is 3865. I am not happy with the way the white is showing up on this fabric. Initially, I wanted to stitch on vintage country mocha, which I think is the called for. However, when I bought the supplies for this, which was months ago, this was a club that came monthly starting in the spring. And so when I started kitting it up, I didn't have, or I should say that a couple of the places that I looked did not have vintage country mocha in stock at the time. So I just went with this, which is light mocha, I think it's called, from Swagart. And it's just too light, really, for the white to show up properly. So I tried back stitching this on rides. I don't love it. I'm not sure that's the look that I want, but I am going to finish, back stitching it, the whole word, and then go and finish the piece, and then go from there and see what I think and see whether I like that enough to keep it. I don't know. I didn't really want to stitch it in blue because there's already a lot of blue. The sleigh's blue. So I didn't know if I wanted to keep going with that. So that's to be determined. But I do like the color change. My Christmas, typically I decorate with blue and greens and things like that. So, and blue and silver. Blue and silver actually are usually my colors that I decorate with. I love red and green. It's very nostalgic for me. I just don't tend to decorate with those in my own home. And then I started this Shannon Christine, which is called A Pug for Christmas. This piece, let me see if I can put it so the lights don't show through. So I was on her website looking around, and I noticed that I found one called A Hippo for Christmas, which is super cute. And for any of you that know that old 60s vintage it's a novelty song called I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas. It's a super cute song that was sung by a young girl, and my daughter loved that song when she was younger. We always loved to play that song every Christmas multiple times. So when I saw that, I thought, I've got to stitch that for her, and that's got to be hers. And then I was about to get it, and then I saw this one on the page, and I went with this one instead, at least to start, because my daughter has a pug named Cookie, who's on one of the videos when we first got her from last year, I think. And she's now like a 1.5 old, so she's almost 2 actually. But we love her to death, and she's a sweetheart. And so I had to stitch this one. And so I think this is super cute, A Pug for Christmas. It's about halfway done. And I posted this on Instagram, and a gentleman by the name of Doug, and I don't have the last name, but it's Shannon's last name as well, It starts with a W. I'll post it below. But he commented on my picture, and it turns out that he is an artist, and this is his design. And he has beautiful artwork. I followed his page, and I hope that he turns more of his artwork into cross stitch because it's beautiful, and I would love to stitch more of his design. This is super cute, and he said that he does have a pug also who has the same energy level as ours. She's loves to sleep. That's her favorite hobby. But she can be pretty energetic. She's pretty, she actually went to my mom's house last night with my daughter because she's spending a few days at my mom's, and my mom is fostering, well, she has one dog, a Cavalier King Spaniel, and then King Charles Spaniel, and then she's fostering a young black lab puppy who is just a ball of energy. And so she said last night that our pug would not settle down with the lab, that they just kept going, which is surprising because usually our pug tires out quite quickly. So she was like very, very excitable, I guess, with the other dog. Speaking of dogs, I don't know if you can hear, but my old 10-and-a-half-year-old boxer is over here on the couch snoring away. I just woke him up. I'm sorry, he's staring at me like, what are you doing? Why are you waking me up? But he was snoring, so don't snore. Sorry, don't snore. I worked on my Christmas blue ornaments is the official name. This is a Joan Elliott piece. Here we are. So the last time I showed this, I think I had just started this one. This one was pretty much done. This one was completed last year. So this one was started, and I finished that except for the cryonic and the beading. And I did this one, and that one is almost finished. I just have to finish seasons and the border, which is pretty much done. And then the rest of this is cryonic and beading. And because I'm doing multiple of these on one piece, I realized that I really need to wait on the beads and probably most of the cryonic. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just stitching the blue DMC, and then I'm going to go back in and do the cryonic and the beading. And the hope is that I'm going to turn these into ornaments, but clearly I did not leave myself room. But I didn't do that as an intention of keeping it all in the same piece. So I don't know what I'm going to do. That's to be determined. We shall see. I haven't finished an ornament except for one mill hill that was a beaded ornament that was made already pre-cut and everything. So that is going to be an adventure in finishing for sure. I don't know what's going to happen with that. So I thought I do have a few more things to show that I've been stitching on for Christmas. I thought I would intersperse this a little bit in between with some Christmas charts and some Christmas kits from my stash. In my last video, which was a few weeks ago when I talked about Christmas stitching, I showed a few things and mentioned a few things from my stash that I had in mind. However, I realized that there was quite a few things that I did not pull out, and I thought it might be fun with Christmas right around the corner to go ahead and pull out some more Christmas, just to kind of a mini parade just to look at together and ogle over. So let me show you a few kits as I pull them out. I have several of the Dimensions Christmas kits. They make beautiful, beautiful kits, as we know, and I am stitching a Christmas one, which I will show in just a second. My pile is falling over here. This one is called Winter Celebration, and this was a gift from my family a couple of years ago, a birthday gift. So I really want to be stitching that. When I finish the one that I'm working on now, this will probably be my next Christmas Dimensions that I start. I'm going to bang around. These are these are really random, so whatever. This is Little House Needleworks. This is called Gingerbread Trio. These gingerbread boys, they could be stitched all together, or stitched all together or as separate ornaments would be really cute. This one, I really love it. It says ginger, cinnamon, and nutmeg on it. And this was a giveaway that I did a few years ago, and my friend Stephanie, who's So Glover Creations on YouTube and Instagram, won this. And I don't know whether Stephanie has stitched this yet or not. If not, it might be fun to do a stitch along with this. If not this Christmas, maybe next year. And then I have some Stony Creeks. I love Stony Creek. If you've been with me, you know that I have a real love for the older Stony Creek patterns. This one's called Rejoice, I think. Rejoice Tree. And here's one I have called Hanging Around for Christmas. This is 2 charts. There are kittens and there are puppies in stockings. Super cute. This one is a Joan Elliott design that is published by Imaginating. And it's Red Noel. Red Work Noel. This is stitched in one color, 321 of DMC 321, which is a beautiful red. I think this would be really nice in a variegated, maybe like 115, or there's another one that's like 41 something. And they're both beautiful reds, and I would love to do something with that. And this might be the perfect one to do. I love that. This was a potential start that I actually had ready to go, and then I couldn't find the floss that I needed where I needed to start. And then I found it, so I could still start it before Christmas. This is God Rest You Merry Gentlemen. Is that the name of it? I should look at these but it's a Lindy Stitches. Super cute. I love her sense of humor. This is 3 gentlemen resting, snoring away, as my Toby is doing over here on the couch. So I think I have everything for that. I have fabric, I have the flosses. It's a mix of Weeks Dye Works and DMC. This little gingerbread house from Country Cottage Needleworks was in my collection. This is actually, there's a set of a bunch of these, and I have all of them. I have the fabric and the floss. I have it kitted up. I don't know, I guess this must have journeyed out of that and gone in there. So that's one that that I've been wanting to start, and I haven't. So that's number 7, gingerbread house number 7. Here's another Stony Creek that we talked about a little bit on my last video. This is the Stony Creek Holiday Village in winter. This is the winter Christmas village that a number of you commented on my last video and said that would be your vote for me to start. I have not started it, however, I would really like to. I just need to find the fabric that I would want to do, probably white or a very pale color. I've seen these stitched up. There's one for each season. There's a spring, summer, and autumn, and they are beautiful in person. They are very, very much even prettier in person than they are on the photograph, as you can imagine. This one is Sue Hillis, called It's Christmas, and it's got the various fun things on it to, signify Christmas. And it has, it has the different orientations that you could stitch, like this way, like, I don't know how big that is, but kind of an 8x10 looking thing, and then, or you could stitch it long ways that way. She also has a really cute one that I have somewhere too, that's a cross stitcher's Christmas with the different things relating to cross stitch. This is another cute Stony Creek House of the Month or Cottage of the Month. These are kind of old-fashioned looking, but I really like them, and I would stitch them up. I would probably maybe change the font, but the house itself, super cute. I love it. And I think I have most of the months for these ones. This is called Companions, and this is a Teresa Wentzler that I don't see very often. It's Santa with his horse, I think he's feeding his horse, and I saw this years ago on Instagram. There was a Russian or Ukrainian stitcher that was stitching this or had stitched this, and it was love at first sight when I saw it. It was in a, sorry, that's my quiche timer. I need to go check on that. But this is, anyway, it was in a language that I didn't understand, but I was like, oh my gosh, that's Teresa Wentzler, and I love that. And I went and I was on the hunt for it for a few months before I found it, because I think it's out of print, I don't know, but I couldn't find it. It wasn't on her website at the time. And so I found it on Etsy finally. It was in a pack of several Wentzler patterns, and I did get the pack of them, and so I have that now. What I would love to do, and actually I have that kitted up too. These are some of the little Mill Hill Christmas Village patterns. Each year they come out with a different house or building for their Christmas village. I have started those. This is the Town Hardware and this is the Toy Shop. I have quite a few of these. I don't have all of them yet. There's a lot I would like to have. I did start that. I started the needle workshop on a large piece of fabric, and I don't know where that is actually right now, so I can't show it to you, but I did start it last Christmas. And I either will stitch, I haven't decided yet whether I'm stitching them all together in one piece or whether I will stitch them separately. That's to be determined still, but we'll see. And I will show it again when it turns up. This is a little dimensions ornament, 'Tis the Season. It's a kit in black Ada. There's another dimensions Christmas pattern, Holiday Village. I love the tree in this one. I think the tree just really, let me show it that way. The tree really pops. I think it really, the glow, the colors, I think it's just so pretty. The one I'm going to show you, and I'll show you that now, Treasured Time that I've been working on, that just glows. You know that feeling of like, you ever go outside in the evening and the whole atmosphere feels just green or pink from the reflection and everything is kind of that tint? I think that this would be this way with the sky. And this has, I don't know how they're used. Maybe if you've stitched this before or a similar one. I've stitched a couple of dimensions and I've not seen this before. They have these little sparkly kind of like sequins. They're sequins, but not quite sequins. They're kind of clear. I don't know if you could see those on the video, but there's a pack of something extra in there. So I'm guessing those will be random on there kind of. Oh, it looks like they go in the trees. It looks like they're on the trees. I see them in the picture now. Let me go ahead and show you my whip, my Dimensions Holiday whip. That I have been working on this since I last showed it. It is dirty and it is wrinkled, so just keeping it real, people. But here is where I am with it, and I have put progress in it since I last showed it. This is a Treasured Time. And this is what I'm talking about. I don't know with the lighting on my video if you can tell, but I definitely feel like there is a glow to this piece, that evening feeling when the sunset is just at that perfect spot and the clouds are glowing pink and peach and purple and everything is just right with the world. And I can only imagine how amplified that would be on, reflected on ice and snow. And in the cold, it's so clear, the air is so crystal clear and sharp. And so I just love this Victorian Christmas. It's called a Treasured Time, but it's a Victorian Christmas, and it makes me think of Little Women, I guess because of the ice skating. And I did have so buried at the bottom of this bag, which I hadn't even planned to show this because I didn't even know it was in here. So here's another whip. It's a little dimensions kit that I love, but clearly it hasn't gotten much love this year. So it's very wrinkled, so I'm sorry. It was literally like rolled up in the bottom of the bag. But this is a Kiss for Snowman. And it's a little, I think it's 6x6 kit. Maybe 8x8, but I think it's 6x6. And it's just absolutely adorable. I love it because there's shading in there, but the white is the Ada itself. So the white of the snowman is not stitched. It's the fabric, which works great. I think I love that. And it definitely gives it dimension. Toby. Sorry, buddy. He's like, I can't help it. Okay. So I also want to show you my Merry Christmas from Stony Creek. I don't have the picture in front of me. I don't have the pattern for some reason. I don't know why. But this was my birthday start last year. And it's over halfway done. It's just a small little piece. And so this is what I have so far in a Threadworks. See my pet hair on there. This is done in a Threadworks called, I think, Merry Christmas. They have a couple of Christmas variegated ones. but this is one of them, and it's done on one strand over two on fabric, and I think this is called White Chocolate from Zweigart. It's a linen, 32 count, and I believe it was the called for on the pattern. I'm going to show you my Christmas kitten again. I worked on this in quite a while because I'm not real happy with the way it's turning out. However, I'm hoping that if I do work on it more, that it will end up looking better in the long run. You know how sometimes you get stuck on something and then you work on it some more and it starts looking good again? This is Kitten with Ribbon is what it's called. I think it looks a lot better on video than it does on, in person to me. This is just, it's on a 18 count, but it feels very pixelated. And it's this. And I'm not sure what's going on with the design, like originally, because the design, this looks very pixelated. And the design itself, when you look it up, it's not credited to any particular artist that I can find, but to a group, to a company. Oh, well, it says McNeil Studio Art Licensing, so I bet it's really an artist that did it. I'm just not sure because it's been around for a while and I don't even know if it's in print anymore. So it's probably really a painting or whatever, or digital. It might be digital art, but it's still probably done by an artist, not AI. A couple more Christmas kits. This is called Christmas Tradition from Dimensions. 2 kids hauling the tree in. It's not gold, it's just regular dimensions, which I guess in theory would be less blends and complex stitching, but it's still beautiful. And then this is Holiday Village ornaments. And Dena at Half Stitch Cross Stitch has been stitching these and they are absolutely beautiful. So that is that. I do have a couple of winter themed patterns. I don't see my other ones that I had out, but I had some winter themed patterns, kits that I pulled out as well. But this is one of them. This is Winter's Hush. Is it? Yeah, Winter's Hush. I have more kits that I pulled out and I didn't bring them. So like I filmed in another place in my bedroom where I usually film, and then that didn't take, wasn't happy. So I'm refilming out here in my living room, and I hauled all this stuff out here and I think I left some behind. So that's okay, but I could show those another time, the other kits. One other one that I did work on this past couple weeks was I started this pattern from Etsy. It used to be called Merry Christmas, I think. And then I saw it on there as like Merry Christmas ornaments, and then I saw it on there as ornaments patchwork, all from the same seller. They're not different sellers, but I don't know if they're changing the name of it, like to try, I don't know. So what officially it's called, but this is what, I'll try to take a picture of it. It's hard to get pictures off Etsy because you can't save like you can other places. You have to take a screenshot. So I struggled with that a little bit. But I started it on feldspar. And this is where, let's see, which way does it go? It goes this way. This is a picture of this plus feldspar, 32 count. Really pretty blues and purples, but obviously the white is not popping. It's B5200. I did a floss toss. I thought I was good. And then wherever I guess the place that I started there was too pale. So it's not showing up like I would prefer. So I switched it. I restarted it. It'd be nice if you could literally like switch it over, but I had to restart it on Picture This Plus Mirage. And I didn't get as far, but here it is on Mirage. So hopefully that will show up a little bit better as far as the white, the B5200. And Mirage is a really great color, I think, for Christmas. It's got like, it's a really pretty gray, and it's got some little bit of purple in it, and I think it's a really good winter. I can't remember what piece it was, but I know that Dena at Half Stitch Cross Stitch years ago, she stitched a winter scene on Mirage, and I remember her talking about what a perfect fabric that was for a wintry day. And so I've always always thought that I would want to stitch something Christmas on that, so that's that. So that's my Christmas update, and I hear a train coming. Apparently the Polar Express is on its way by me, so I'm just going to say Merry Christmas, Happy Stitching, and I'll see you all in about a week with a whip parade and 2024 plans. Happy stitching, bye guys, and Merry Christmas.